Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and a review of the Tarot of Tides. This is by Steve Hutton and this is The Adventures of a Duck Named Bob. If you take a look at the back of the box, it reads Tarot of Tides. Tarot of Tides tells the tale of a small toy duck called Bob, who was forgotten at the beach one day. As the fool of the tarot, Bob sees the world through innocent, unbiased eyes as he navigates the seven seas. The tides carry him to far-flung and varied landscapes where he encounters a menagerie of fantastic creatures who contribute to the little duck's epic adventure, shaping his perspective along the way. Lovers of whimsy and wonder will delight in the detail-rich fantasy artwork, each card in a miniature world brimming with emotion, symbolism, and enchanting surprises waiting to be discovered. It includes 78 cards with a 164-page guidebook with delightful narratives, upright and reverse meanings, and instructions for 4 insightful card spreads. So this comes in your classic 2-part construction, opens up like this. Inside we have the guidebook, and of course the cards. Before we get into the cards, let's take a look at this guidebook. So this is quite a thick guidebook. First thing I noticed when I took it out, if we look inside, it is written and illustrated by Steve Hutton himself. And so we have an introduction, we have the majors, we have the suit of wands, cups, swords, pentacles, some suggested spreads, and a little bit about the creator. So here's the introduction. Go ahead, take a pause, take a read. And we have about each card. So like the back of the box mentions, it gives you some information, an upright meaning and a reverse meaning for every card. No colored drawings, just again for every card, it tells you a little bit about the minor arcana. Once you get into each suit, it tells you about that suit. And it tells you about the cards. Now here it does start backwards. It starts with the king, make its way to the queen, the knight, the page, and then the ace. It goes through every card, obviously, in the deck. And here in the back, we have some suggested spreads. Bob's life belt, Neptune's trident, probing into the heart of it, around the rocks, and then again about the creator. So that was the guidebook. Now let's take a look at the deck. So here we have the cards, and of course we start off with the Fool card. Very beautiful first card in the deck, and it really does catch your eye, your attention. The color palette, it is muted, but it is still beautiful. The contrasting colors still stand out. I think it is an amazing card to look at. Next we have the Magician card. The more you look, the more you see. With that being said, I want to play a little game with you. This is, of course, The Adventures of a Duck Named Bob. So, as we go through the deck, I want you to try to see if you can spot Bob in every card. I am not going to point him out. Sometimes it's a little obvious, sometimes it's not. Yes, I did take a peek at the cards because I was curious. So here we have the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor. That is a beautiful card. Here we have the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. Oh, I love that. The use of the colors, the yin and the yang. Here we have Strength and the Hermit, which is a hermit crab. Couldn't think of anything more appropriate. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune, Justice. Here we have the Hanged Man. Of course, Death. Here we have Temperance, the Devil. That is one creepy looking fish. The Tower, the Star. I love it Missed opportunity though, not being a starfish, but I do love it. Here we have the moon. Of course, the sun. Here we have judgment and the world that is beautiful. So, did you spot him in every card? How many did you get? Let me know down below if you saw him in every card. Now we have the suit of wands and we have the ace of wands. Here we have the two of wands, the three of wands. What is that, like a antelope, dragon, kelpie thing? It's beautiful. The four of wands, the five of wands. That is beautiful. Here we have the six of wands, the seven of wands, the eight of wands, a very ominous nine of wands, the 10 of wands. Here we have the page of wands riding his little rabbit, the knight of wands riding the caribou, the queen of wands, and the king of wands. Here we have the ace of cups, the two of cups, the three of cups, the four of cups. I like what they did there. The five of cups, the six of cups, the seven of cups, the eight of cups. Had myself a little private chuckle when I saw this card. The nine of cups, the 10 of cups. Here's the page of cups, the knight of cups, the queen of cups, and the king of cups. Here we have the ace of swords, the two of swords, the three of swords. Never disappoints. Never, ever disappoints. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. The four of swords, the five of swords, the six of swords, the seven of swords. Yep. The eight of swords, a nine of swords, the 10 of swords. Here we have the page of swords, the knight of swords, the queen of swords, and the king of swords. Our last suit, we have the ace of pentacles, the two of pentacles, the three of pentacles. Here we have the four of pentacles, the five of pentacles. Oh, so sad. The six of pentacles, not a piggy bank. The seven of pentacles, the eight of pentacles. Here we have the nine of pentacles, a very beautiful and majestic 10 of pentacles. Here's the page of pentacles. Of course, the knight of pentacles, beautiful queen of pentacles, and the king of pentacles. So those were the cards. Now let's take a look at the deck, how it feels in the hand, and my overall thoughts. So here we have the back of the cards. As you can see, it is like a whirlpool in the water, and I think that's great. All that gives you a really cool effect when you do that. And as you can see, the cards themselves have a little bit of gloss. They slide very beautifully on each other. The cards are a little bit on the bigger side. Here's what you would call a standard size tarot deck. A little taller, marginally wider. I prefer my decks on the bigger side, so this for me feels great in my hands. Overhand shuffle, not a problem. We already saw that the cards slide very beautifully on themselves. A ripple shuffle can be a little bit difficult, but because this cardstock is very nice, it has no problem at all. The cards are a little bit thinner, so you will see this is quite a thin deck compared to other decks you might have seen. I would just say be careful with how much you bend these cards, as it is, again, quite thin. But overall, they are beautiful, stunning cards. The images on them are great. Overall, I have been really impressed with these cards, the images, and the theming throughout. Now, at the beginning, I said let's play a little game. Let's see if you can spot Bob in the Major Arcana, which is typically where the story of the tarot deck is, from the Fool to the World card. And Bob did pop up a few times during the other cards, the minor arcana. What I want to focus on right now is here we have the King, the Queen, the Knight, and the Page of Wands. And they all have, I think, a bit of a theme. Obviously, it is the suit of wands, but each suit to me felt like it had a bit of a theme going on. Some of the same colors. Maybe not so much with the wands, that's why I put that one first. But if we go into the suit of cups, for example, here we have the same little creature in all the cards. It's consistent throughout. It gives you an idea of maybe some sort of story underlining it. And I think that's really great. Here we have the suit of swords. And again, I think if it's more the color on this one, you have those browns, the bit of natural wood looking colors. When you pull these cards in a reading, I think if you use this deck enough, you'll get familiar with some of the colors and you'll know right off the bat, oh, that's a cup, or that's a sword, or that's a wand. And lastly, of course, we have the suit of pentacles. And again, a little bit different. I think the Knight and the Page have some similarities between them, whereas the King and the Queen have some similarities between these two cards. But overall, beautiful deck, beautiful artwork, full colored imagery, takes use of the entire card you have in front of you. I love when decks do that. They don't limit themselves to a small portion to depict the image. I think using your entire space gives you more, and you can put more into them. So if you're more of an intuitive tarot reader where you go based off what you see in the cards, this deck would be great for that, because you're going to get a lot of colors and images and almost like a story. Now, with that being said, if you're interested in learning more about how to read cards and put them together, I do have an entire series on this channel where I go through what to do with the tarot deck when you first get one, how to read the cards, how to read them together. And if you want to learn a little bit more, or if you're interested in some readings, I do also have readings on this channel. They are more of a general reading typically. Sometimes I do have a bit of a thought or an emotion that goes through when I do the readings, but I think they're great messages if you're ever interested, and I will link the playlist down below as well. And if you made it this far into the video, something tells me you enjoy content like this. If you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe if you're not already. If you're interested in grabbing yourself a copy of this deck, I will link it down below in the description. Let me know down below what you thought of this deck. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Again, did you find Bob in every single card of the major arcana? I know some of them were a little bit difficult. Again, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time.